You won't believe what my person said to me this morning. He's like, I wish I could be doing astrology videos. So I'm looking at him like, He's like, so that I can say, hey, love lovers. So, hey, love lovers. Today we're doing Jada and see why she's so powerful over man and why she's in control over man and why she is a powerful woman who can control a man in her life. So let's get into the details. Many awful things have been said about Jada Pinkett Smith over the years, and in a huge wave, right? Particularly starting from the August Alsina confession about the affair, and things have been going downhill since then. If you watched my video about the Saturn in the 7th house in your chart or in somebody's chart, this will make sense today because Jada Pinkett Smith has got a Saturn in the 7th house, and everything I said in that video will be clarified with her life example. Like I always tell you guys, I prefer to talk about things that I can prove through real people's lives, people that we can all look at and say, yes, that is true, right? I don't like to talk theory, just theory. I like to also prove what I talk about because I'm all about practicality and healing our relationships in the most realistic and practical way ever, right? I'm linking that video down below so you can remind yourself of somebody who their 7th house Saturn, how they feel in relationships, how they see relationships, and then you can have sympathy or some sort of sympathy about Jada, and all these bad things have been talked about when it comes to her life, right? Well, not her life in general, but her love life, because for us, we all concerned about the love life, right? For this channel, otherwise politics and everything else, I deal with that on my Twitter because I'm also, for social justice and all of that. But it's what I leave out for Twitter. But for this channel, we're looking at relationships. We're focusing on healing relationships and analyzing and coming up with research that will help us understand our relationships better so that we can heal our communities and our relationships right. But of course, some people might say, where do you get this information? Most of the information, I get it, obviously, from dealing with clients, real people, analyzing real data, talking to clients, looking at clients' charts. And of course, we all, have the basic knowledge that we got from school, astrology school, or from astrologers, YouTube, research, bloggers, magazines, all of that, right? But what I tell you guys is what I can prove to you scientifically, so to speak, as well as, in real life. I can say, look at this person, they have this, and I can show you the chart. But if you don't know how to do your chart, of course, you can link me up, talk to me, join the others that have experienced my services, right? And just go to my website and just click on the link at the book. I do have several options, of course, ranging, from the least affordable price to the highest affordable price, whatever, right? But everything is affordable and is fitting to whatever budget that you have. And I do have the answers to your questions. Yeah, right. But today we're talking about Jada Pinkett Smith and I'm starting with the definition of femme fatale. Of course, it's coming from the French language, Well, in English, we say femme fatales are women who can seduce other people and all of that, right? But in the literal, signification or meaning in French. It literally means a little woman, right? But is Jada a little woman? Jada has been made into this character as if she's like the most evil person in Hollywood, the most evil woman in Hollywood, right? With all these horrific stories that we've read about her and we've heard about her over the years through YouTube, magazines, newspapers, everything, right? Everything around against her. Personally, I like Jada. I like her power. I like a woman who's in control. I like a woman who can take charge. I like a woman who can, set boundaries for herself, and a woman who can say, I don't want this. I want this. I don't like this. I like this. I don't love you. I love this person. Like, she's outspoken about her feelings, and she's always been like this. And that's the personality that I like. I don't know about, her other personal life. I mean, the Hollywood field is coming down now, so I don't know about everything else, and I don't want to involve that in this channel of relationships and healing relationships, right? Otherwise, we could have that on another platform, right? But I'm looking at this femme fatale meaning, and how she's been described as this most devilish woman, who's controlling Will Smith. Will Smith can't do this because Jada this, Jada that, right? And of course, August Alsina came out and said he said he was very hurt by her, disappointed by her in their relationship and all of that, right? And, receiving threats. And of course, that is very serious, right? And Jada and Will came out and they addressed that, like, in their red table talk on Facebook, right? So there has a whole lot of stuff that has been said. Her about Tupac, her always talking about Tupac, her missing Tupac, her saying that, she felt kind of like married to Tupac by their souls, like she felt this spiritual marriage. Anyway, everything on here is alleged, you guys, like from the beginning to the end, allegedly, right, throughout. And I do not support abuse of any kind. If any of these men have experienced abuse at the hands of Jada, I do not support that. If Jada herself has experienced abuse at the hands of these men, I don't condone that. I don't accept that. I don't like it. I don't like abuse. Abuse makes me sick. It makes me angry and colère. Like, vraiment. I just am contre any type of abuse, contre women, particularly children. I don't like that. And men who also experience abuse, because men do also experience abuse, I do not condone that, right? So that now that we got that out of the way, let's get into the astrology, synastry. Bienvenue to everyone who's just joined, and let's do this. How some of us who are born in September are actually like Leo suns, and then some who are born in September are Virgo signs. Jada is a Virgo sun. Why am I saying signs? Virgo is Jada is a Virgo sun, and Will Smith is a Virgo sun as well. He's born 25th of September. Voila! He's a Virgo sun. Remember, we're using the whole sign system. So meaning that they share the same sign, which is of Virgo, right? I know the Westerners are going to say, oh, Will Smith is a Libra sign and Jada is a Virgo. Okay, fine. Whole sign situation that we're dealing with, they both Virgo suns. So they gel very well in terms of, their soul missions, and understanding of each other's egos, and able to withstand each other's egos and each other's need to be recognized in this world. They can take each other on that level, right? However, I do see quite a lot of same-sex styles, and many of you saw my videos about moon and moon having semi-sextile, there I gave a great lesson of what a sextile means in general. And when they have, because they have so many sextiles, I'm actually talking today just like a radio, so I'm not going to show any charts because it's 4 charts and there's just a lot of editing that I would have to do, you know, to deal with each relationship. But I'm summarizing here. So basically they have a whole lot of semi-sextiles. And for those who understood what I meant, or, you know, the lessons, so to speak, that I gave about a semi-sextile, you would understand why most of the time their relationship seems like it's draining for one person and the other one is benefiting, right? Again, if you don't remember what a semi-sextile does, I made an example video of a moon and a moon sextile, semi-sextile, to teach you guys, to kind of like show you what you get when you get in such situations, right? So they have plenty of aspects like this, and hence, you know, the whole debacle of, oh my gosh, one, you know, is benefiting and the other one is losing in this relationship, right? We've heard it so many times. We've heard it from all types of mediums, right? Right. And when it comes to now, do you know why she can't get over Tupac? And do you know why she felt like Tupac was the ideal lover for her? Do you know why? It's because he's got his 7th house. I mean, he's got his Venus in her 7th house. It's overlaying there, looking at her, saying, I'm the best partner. Because remember, the 7th house is originally owned by Venus. So Venus, when Venus comes here, the ascendant, you, the person, Jada in this instance, would consider Tupac as the perfect partner. Because why? Venus is in the 7th house, original house. But not only that, it is in Taurus, literally owned by Venus. So Jada saw Tupac as a spouse who could bring to her stability, some finance, some family, like a family background that's solid. That's how she viewed him. All right, so that's why she can't get over it. It's a fixed sign. And she saw him as a friend because also his Mercury is conjunct with this Venus there in the 7th house. So this is why, ladies and gentlemen, love lovers, Jada cannot get over this man, right? He was literally the perfect partner in her eyes, to her, right? And at the same time, he saw her like a wise person, like somebody that he could go to get advices and support, right? That's how he viewed her, like this, you know, advisor that you know, he could use to get some good advices, and also, you know, somebody who would be like a potential mother to his children, because his moon is actually conjunct with her 5th house, or rather. However, I do see some naughtiness that would have came from their friendship due to his Lilith, you know, obviously aspecting the 5th house of romance and love and all of that, right? So that's visible there. Now let's move on to August Alsina. When it comes to August Alsina, this relationship was so real for him. Like, he was just, you know, into her. He's got many aspects, like serious aspects to her chart. You know, they have a conjunction of, you know, I mean, an opposition of Satan, of Satan, not Satan, gosh, of Saturn and Satan, God bless you, right? Of Saturn and Moon. Obviously, every time when these come into aspect, there's a huge responsibility that will be played out. There's a huge obligation that will be played out, and in their life, it was, you know, relating to how the profession was affected. You know, their professions both, right, in the public eye, right. They also have their Venuses conjunct, of course, love speaking to love. So that's why he felt the way he felt. He felt so deeply in love with her, because their Venuses are also conjunct on top of this aspect of Moon and Saturn. So definitely he saw her like in a real form of in a relationship, even if for her it was like a professional thing, or something relating to that, but for him it was for sure real. However, because it happened while Jada was married, of course there's a Lilith involved, and yes, her Lilith is conjunct with their Venuses as well. So duh, of course, cheatation, right? Like I told you guys. Pain experienced, disappointment, wounding experienced, of course, because her Chiron is also opposite the situation of their conjunction of Venuses and her Lilith. So duh, guys, planets are always giving it to us, and now you know. And it's quite sad that many people really experience, these hurtful situations. And when you look at the chart, you just go like, oh yes, of course it did happen. Or of course this is going to happen and no one can stop it. It just breaks, your heart as the person who's analyzing the situation. But at the same time, you're like, it's meant to be like this. It was meant to be like this. When they get into a situation, their planets would do this, because they always do this when they make such aspects, right? Which is very, very sad and heavy, and really heavy and difficult to deal with, right? Now settling back to Will Smith, with him, as I said, many semi-sextiles, many situations of loss, of huge losses, or on each part, because it's just a whole lot of semi-sextiles. But at the same time, why are they not getting a divorce? Or why couldn't they divorce? So that's the biggest question that everybody's asking, right? Or everybody has been asking. But again, to get the answer, just looking at Jada's chart alone, you will know this. And that's the video that I made 2 days ago, to explain to you guys when somebody has got a Saturn in their 7th house, what usually takes place, right? Check that check that video to get the full details, right? But in the same video, I also explained how a person would separate, right, from their partner. I also explained how they would have a second relationship in their situation. Like, guys, everything that I tell you, I'm able to prove them, and therefore don't hesitate to talk to me. We might be a small channel, but the knowledge is not small, as well as the results are definitely not small, right? So for now, I'm gonna say thank you, and I'll chat to you soon. Happy and tarara.